The satire used in this video aims to shed light on global suffering. We are not targeting any country or group of people, but rather aim to move people in power to eliminate these horrible realities, and to remind you to be grateful for the small worries in your own life.
This is you. Sitting on a comfy chair, holding a device worth more than the GDP of a small nation. When not working, you are trying to rake up your side hustle or binging on YouTubers preaching how to build a faceless channel while sipping on a warm double choco chip latte. Your biggest health concern right now is probably not getting enough vitamin D. This is Folly, your distant cousin from Zambia, or Nigeria, or India. Unlike you, Folly is starved, depressed, perpetually reeking of sewer water, and a highly probable candidate for a gangrene amputation, following a wound from his recent excursion into a nearby garbage heap for any calorific substance. But hey, at least he is on a calorie deficit. Now, you must be wondering, how the heck is Folly a distant relative of yours? Turns out, you and Folly separated 500 generations before, just because 15,000 years ago, one of your common ancestors decided that a particularly plump mammoth was too good to let go for a meaty dinner and chased it right across the Bering Strait land bridge into the Americas, where he met a pretty ancient Paleo-Siberian girl and who eventually turned out to be one of his many wives. And that little crossover, my friend, is the reason why your biggest existential threat is forgetting the password to your streaming service, while Folly's biggest worry is, if he lives any longer, his co-residents might blame him for negatively affecting the regional mortality index they have fought so hard to maintain.
Bro, it's time to say goodbye.
Bro, but I just turned 41.
We have a reputation.
And yet, Folly exists just because 1,000 generations before him successfully navigated wars, famines, and the near certainty of being displaced by an armed militia.
Who wants to die first, you or the goat?
Oops. Can we negotiate?
So, let's take a look at how your vitamin deficiency stacks against some of the pathologically worst places Folly could possibly be living under as we speak. Forget the Black Death, forget the Mongol hordes. We are ranking the 7 places on Earth right now where the average life expectancy is so short, your midlife crisis kicks off even before your gestation period is over. These places have optimized for an early grave, and we're going to find out exactly why. Kicking off the list at number 7, and our first entry from the air-choking capital of India is Gazipur, Delhi, with an estimated lifespan of just 51 years. Now, if you live near Delhi, you're already losing 8 years of life to the general smog. But here, you live next to a literal mountain of garbage that constantly leaks methane and catches fire. This isn't a landfill, it's a slow-burn, toxic gas chamber.
Did you turn off the gas regulator before leaving?
But how does that matter, bro?
Residents are choking on carcinogenic fumes and heavy metals from the burning waste. Congratulations, Gazipur. You're the least worst of the worst. Sliding in at number 6, tied on the numbers, but slightly worse on the misery scale, is the Lake Chad region in Chad. Your estimated local lifespan is about 51 years. This area proves that climate change and conflict are the ultimate celebrity it couple. They teamed up to destroy absolutely everything. The lake has shrunk by 90%, destroying the local economy. The region's maternal mortality rate is so high that childbirth is an extreme sport. Guess what? Not all Chads have a six-pack. Our contender for the most toxic playground is number 5, Kabwe, Zambia, with a lifespan of just 50 years. Kabwe is one of the 10 most polluted places on Earth due to a defunct lead mine. Forget cancer, here the dirt itself is so toxic that 95% of kids have toxic lead levels in their blood, causing permanent brain damage and neurological failure. But hey, we already have TikTok for that, so why bother? Welcome to number 4, Orangi Town, Karachi, the world's largest slum and a sanitation nightmare. Your estimated life expectancy is down to just 49 years. The main culprit? Water. They have extreme recurring outbreaks of cholera, typhoid, and hepatitis. Every glass of water is a roll of the dice, and the dice are loaded against you. Chronic sickness in Orangi is less a condition and more a guarantee of an early grave. We reached out to the Pakistani media to comment on the morbid state of Orangi. This is what they had to say.
Salam alaikum. We wish to correct your knowledge on this matter. Orangi is in perfect condition, and there have been no recorded casualties in the last 10 years. Furthermore, Orangi is fast becoming a tourist hotspot, attracting visitors from all across the globe and contributing towards Pakistan's GDP. Any misleading news about Orangi is because of false propaganda being spread by the Indian diplomats.
Well, we concur. At number 3, we visit the Nigerian Northeast's crisis zone, Mubi Axis, Adamawa, where life for men crashes down to just 48 years. You're dying from the trifecta of terror: conflict, collapse, and consumption of absolutely nothing. Insurgency has utterly wrecked the fragile health system. You could die from a paper cut because the nearest doctor is miles away and the place is festered with famines. The healthiest meal you can order here is a mosquito burger. And the tastiest item on the menu is licking on a rusty scrap of metal.
Our terrifying runner-up is not a forgotten slum or a war-torn desert. It's Area 19134, Keninsgsten, Philadelphia, USA, where the estimated lifespan crashes down to a chilling 45 years. Welcome to the new American dream. A literal open-air drug market where your biggest existential threat isn't a militia or a shrinking lake, but a tiny bag of white powder. This isn't just an opioid crisis. It's a social apocalypse powered by cheap fentanyl. Life expectancy here isn't cut short by external forces. It's rather self-selected. This region proves that you can have all the plumbing, infrastructure, and healthcare resources of a global superpower and still perfect the art of the sudden exit simply by letting the fabric of society completely dissolve. Sorry, Folly. Turns out you don't need a garbage heap to qualify for a gangrene amputation. You just need a bad batch and a dirty curb. Honorary mention: the mole people of Las Vegas tunnels. Before we crown our absolute champion, we need an honorary mention that proves the darkness doesn't just cling to the surface. Beneath the neon glow and billion-dollar casinos of Las Vegas lives a hidden population known as the mole people, who reside in the city's vast flood control tunnels. We estimate their average life expectancy sits grimly at just 42 years. These are not victims of pollution or war. They are victims of invisibility. Their greatest threats are not abstract but immediate: drowning in flash floods, fatal drug overdoses, and the devastating finality of suicide. Living in perpetual darkness, they exist just feet beneath the high rollers ordering $500 bottles of champagne. It's the ultimate metaphor: a life buried under the greatest concentration of disposable wealth on Earth. When the glitz runs out, this is where the American dream goes to die. Quietly, soaking wet, and in the dark.
And, finally, we have arrived at the winner of the competition. Imagine a place which is unbearably hot, squishy, perpetually waterlogged, and reeks like dead fish. Your living room mimics a burrow full of stool and urine. It's so small you can barely move your feet without hitting the walls. And, on top of that, you are hung upside down. This, folks, is the mother's womb. According to Indian mythology, the mother's womb is considered as one of the 28 hells human souls may have to endure. But this is not the place we are talking about. This is to give you a heads up to what is about to follow. A place worse than the mother's womb, but only it is real. A place where a newborn could argue, why the heck was he even let out? Guys, welcome to the 29th hell, the absolutely fastest way to exit the chat. Deonar, Mumbai, with a life expectancy of shocking 39 years. That's right, you'll only live long enough to watch approximately 39 full seasons of mediocre reality TV. This slum sits under literal mountains of trash that are 12 stories high. In Deonar, your landlord is garbage, your rent is too high, and your time is up. So there you have it, 7 places where life is anything but long. And yes, if you noticed, India manages to claim both the absolute bottom and the least worst spot in the list. Folks, take a bow for India for exporting the best to the world while keeping the worst to itself. You just proved to the world that it's not just your missiles that are fast, but also your morbidity rates. Final note, this video's intent is not to mock, but to move. The harsh satire and shocking reality were used solely to grab your attention. If you are sitting in comfort, use this moment to feel immense gratitude for a life of small worries. But don't stop there. These abysmal life expectancies are a profound failure of global equity. The gap between your comfy chair and folly's harsh reality shouldn't exist. We hope this knowledge compels those in power to act and encourages all of us to channel our gratitude into empathy and real-world change. Thanks for watching.